lot of thoughts. I don't know what's going on. You with it, I'm with it, this shit. Let's get it on.
Right. Woo, this shit is hard work.
I know.
Blacshēp podcast. It's your boy Double Two Times. And I got my girl. Introduce yourself, please.
It's your girl Juice. What's going on?
It's your girl Juice. So, Juice, what's going on?
Life, man.
Life been life.
Life been lifing.
It's Mental Health Month, you feel me?
Yeah.
Well, it's the end of it.
Yes, it is.
So how was it for you during Mental Health Month? We didn't really have this on our original topics, but we discussed it off camera. So we're going to begin with it since it's the end of it.
Yeah. It had its ups and downs. I think life has its ebbs and flows, but I definitely want to say check on your strong friends.
Ooh.
You know, check on your friends, period. Not just the strong ones, but just
Check
your
on
friends,
everybody.
period. Yeah, check on people. You know, it's like a lot of us are masking how we're truly feeling, what we're going through. We're kind of just going through life day by day. Pushing, exactly. And deep down inside, we crumbling. You know, it's people going through it, whether it's financially, spiritually,
So
emotionally.
telling my business up here, Juice.
So, listen, I felt it too. You know, I had my waves of good. I had my waves of bad. So it's like, I just really want to like strive for Black folks, checking in on your folks, you know,
checking on our peoples, man.
Yeah, check on your peoples for sure. Ask them how they doing, how their mental health is, all that.
Yeah, so besides checking on your peoples, what are some other things you do for mental health?
Work out. I
me
think,
too.
I think a good thing to get the dopamines running in the brain and just feeling better about yourself is getting into a routine of working out, you know, trying to eat good.
Yeah, I don't think people understand that working out definitely, you know, especially if you got some aggression, you gotta get off, especially if you need to work out them kinks. People don't understand that trauma and stuff gets stuck in your body,
Yeah.
certain hips, shoulders, neck. That'd be the drama, the trauma.
Right.
But definitely eating right, like your gut health goes straight to your brain, and I don't think people understand that at all. You know what I mean? What you put in your body can cause you some mental stress,
Yes,
strain.
for sure. And it can also boost your mental capacity,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
for sure. So
for the good.
definitely in prayer life. I think praying, staying consistent, being
Absolutely.
in tune and in touch with God, whatever you believe in.
Whatever you believe in, just
Yeah.
having that relationship with God, having that relationship with yourself,
the higher
and
power, yeah.
passing it on to back to the beginning, what you said to your people.
Right.
You know, making sure they're good. Because if you good, you know, it's that's when it's time to help and make sure everybody else
Else
good
good,
too.
exactly.
You can't help nobody until you good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so mental health month is ending, but if you haven't, you should look more into that. You know, I don't really celebrate holidays and stuff like that, but I like goals, accomplishments,
Right.
achievements, milestones in life. So if you're doing something, you productive as we are, you always got something to celebrate. You know what I mean? So I ain't really just thinking about it for the month, but it's awareness, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm always aware, and I hope some people out there will be.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get into these topics, man. The corporate world, being a corporate girly. What's up with that?
I mean, it's cool. You know, it pays the bills. You know, it keeps you going in terms of investing in yourself. I think a lot of people kind of downplay the 9-to-5 life, but it's like if you're a 9-to-5 person trying to transition into entrepreneurship, I think it's very smart, especially in this day and age with everything, the prices being increased and just gas, food, you know, just regular everyday living things that you need. I think it's important to keep a steady income. So if you have the opportunity to work and balance it out. Now, if you're one of those people that want to take the risk and, you know, just do the entrepreneur life, then more power to you. But I think for those who have a 9-to-5 who are trying to transition into entrepreneur life or who already have a business outside of that, keep it going, you know, keep it going, keep your money coming in. As for me, the corporate world, I think being a Black woman in corporate, it's a little tough because you have to deal with being a woman and being Black, you know, so it's like I feel like sometimes I found myself kind of like shrinking or like wanting to be like in the cut with it because I don't want to be on their radar per se. Like I'm there to get my bag and my coin and invest in myself outside of that. So in the corporate world, I kind of keep it like a low profile. But I mean, it's definitely a benefit in terms of like the benefits you get, 401k, all that good stuff. But you know, in terms
Ain't
of
nothing like some benefits,
right? You know,
especially when you working hard.
right.
You gotta take all you can get.
Right,
It's
exactly.
all wanted and needed.
Right, exactly. But yeah, for me, I keep my head low, and not in terms of like I'm not proud of myself. It's just I know my mission and what I'm there to do. So I'm not really there. I encourage people. Listen, I've met some really great people in corporate life, but I think it's best to keep them as your coworkers. Don't like I'll block people that I work with. Like if they pop up like TikTok, like oh like from your contacts. It will show people that's in your contacts. I block them so quick because you're not about to see my Instagram and be judging me, showing the manager, trying to get me in trouble. Like if I said I took off and I'm outside at the club or at the beach or on vacation, like mind your business. Mind your business.
Job police.
Right. So I usually just block them. So I encourage people, please block your coworkers. Like don't let them be in your outside business unless you've built a rapport with them and like you feel like you could trust them. That's different. But more times than not, it's best to keep that separate. So
yeah, you want business, never personal,
right? Exactly.
I like even the corporate world, the 9 to 5 people that might be working 9 to 5 is not exactly corporate, but yeah, it's an investment into your business, into entrepreneurship, into whatever you got going on. You need to make the money so you can do the things that you want to do, and it's great. And some people a little more stiff at work than others.
Yeah.
That's what you think corporate is all suit and tie. Yeah and no, but
right.
It's more just the top of professionalism at work. Like some jobs you have ain't professional at all. It's a damn job. And
Right.
Do what the hell you want. In the corporate world, it ain't exactly like that. You got a strict protocol that needs to be followed. And some people can follow it and go back to being a hood booger right after. Like me. And then you got balance. And some people they live a corporate world life.
Right.
They eating dinner by 6, 7 o'clock, in bed by 8, 9 o'clock, back up at 5 in the morning, and doing those things. And shout out to those people that do that. It's hard to have that discipline to do that. You know what I mean? But it's rewarding. It might be a little boring. You know what I'm saying? But
it's a little mundane.
Some people gotta live in boredom. Just not me.
Right.
I need a little spice in
a little
life.
something, right?
Oh, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to the corporate world and the corporate girlies,
baddies,
corporate baddies and all that.
Yeah, and the entrepreneur baddies, all of them.
Racism and colorism, because that can happen, especially in the corporate world. Not as much as it used to be. They breaking barriers with people with dreads and tattoos all over the corporate world. So yeah, piercings, like those things were unacceptable.
Right.
Maybe 10 years ago, I'll say. And now it's common to see your boss with piercings, tattoos, and dreads.
Right.
Even the white people. Right. Shout out to the white people. But yeah, that's how it be. So have you kind of experienced it or have that type of fear of it in that world,
I think it's always in the back of Black people's minds, like wherever we go, whether it's work, whether it's just out and about. I think racism is kind of like something that we've all in some capacity dealt with.
Yeah.
So it's something that we kind of are always looking for, you know what I'm saying? It may be a good or bad thing because you're aware, you're alert, but it's like sometimes you may overthink it, So it's like you don't always want to go into spaces with that mentality, but you still have to be prepared to encounter that, especially if you're in a room with majority of white people or majority of Asians or Indians, whatever. Like you
diverse crowd.
Right, exactly. You may experience that. I had one particular situation, but the great thing about it was my boss, he was actually Jewish.
Okay.
And I was dealing with this, she was a white girl. And they were kind of like ganging up on me, doing weird stuff. Like they were like, you could tell, like when somebody talking about you.
They was in cahoots.
They was
together.
And
you was on the other side.
Right. And I was the only Black girl in the office in that department. And she was like a lead or whatever. And I was actually getting ready to leave. Like I had found another job. I was trying to negotiate with them. And I don't know if she felt a way about me leaving or like getting a better paying job because like I had increased almost like $7 an hour from what I was making. And I was trying to get them to match that because I liked the place. I didn't necessarily want to leave, but it's like, I'm going where the money at. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so what y'all want to do?
Right, what y'all going to do? So she started getting weird. Like I had even like, and granted for my birthday too, they did the same thing. They got me a cake and car. So for her birthday, I had got her a cake card. Like, I was really like teamwork,
Invested.
you know? Right. Like, I was that girl that like, yeah, like I was a cool shorty in the office. I was cool with everybody. So when she started getting weird and like the whispering and like what really was like the nail in the coffin was, so there was another girl who worked in a different department. Now, I'm not gonna say names, but Shorty had a black son. Like, she was a white girl, but her baby father was
she
black.
had a little spice in her life.
So Shorty, the girl, Robin, I'm gonna say her name, I don't care. Robin
Little
thought she
seasoning.
was about to tag team with old girl and talk about me, and she was coming crazy on the phone. So my homegirl, she was my friend. She went to the office and told them, HR, she told them like, yeah, she's like saying some really racist, disrespectful things, like, you know. And they said before Robin could even sit her behind in the seat one morning, they called her in that office and they fired her behind.
Wow.
They fired her. And then even the boss, the
So it
Jewish
kinda
boss,
backfired.
it backfired on her. And he
It was
came
cool.
up to me.
It's all right to be in cahoots. It's all right to team up.
Right.
But not to openly be racist, you know?
She
That's
was
not
saying,
cool.
yeah, she was saying a lot of racist things. She wouldn't tell me. She was like, I don't even want to tell you because it was that disgusting, but just know I had
Keep talking.
your
I'm
back.
step up.
Okay. And yeah, the Jewish boss came up to me and he apologized on her behalf. He was like, that is not how we operate here. I am so sorry you had to experience that. You know, good luck on your journey. You know, we want you to stay, but we understand why you're leaving. And, you know, so it was nice. It was nice to know that they all weren't against me, you know, like I started to feel. Because, you know, one person, you start thinking like, hold on, who else you talking to? Because y'all all this color, I'm this. So it's like, you know, are you really for me or against me?
That. Sometimes it be like that. Like, you know, that's why I put racism and colorism. Because some people don't obviously know the difference between all of it. You know, racist is flat out, I'm for my people, F your people.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Colorism could be your own people judging you light skin and
like
dark skin.
versus dark skin,
you know what I'm saying? And that's something I experienced more than race. I never really experienced racism. Like, I done came to the birds straight from the hood, and to be honest, they was so welcoming. That was kind of scared me. I was so scared of the welcoming. I'm like, they got to be racist.
You
like,
thought this was Get Out? You thought you was in Get Out?
What? As a teenager, like it's a culture shock. Like I expected racism.
Yeah.
Then I got welcome, and then I kind of was a little standoffish. So I didn't even get to fully embrace it at all. Like the suburbs, I never fully embraced it until I had my kids, and then I lived in the suburbs, and now I'm bougie with my Starbucks and all that, going 24-hour fitness. You know what I'm saying? Shopping at farmers market and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? They wasn't really. They was actually kind of welcoming. It's just I wasn't. It was a culture shock.
Right.
You know, but I have experienced colorism. You know, I've been to prison. I was in the feds. So in the feds, they got like cars. So you have like Jersey, you might be in different, separate by gangs, separated by region, West Coast, East Coast, down South. So it was more like I'm watching, all right, the New York people, they got Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, but I was on such of a big compound, everybody had their group. So then you had the Puerto Ricans by themselves, the Dominicans by themselves, the Colombians by themselves, and the Mexicans by themselves. Now, all of them of Hispanic descent of some sort, or the Caribbean type of thing, right? But they were split up into colors. And I could see it on a compound of 2,500 people. You could basically, you could do your own little stats, right? Your own research. So I'm watching, I'm like, all right, I understand, you know, we got a little dark skin, light skin. You might see a group of light skinned people, a group of dark skinned people. But in the other cultures, it messed me up because now I'm seeing all of them and then they separate. Even they had dark skinned Mexicans and dark skinned Colombians and they're Afro Latino. And that's when I started really understanding, like, damn, we really all the same people and we separated ourselves kind of. You know what I mean? We separate ourselves by being lighter or fair skin or being darker skin. And the darker skin kind of got the ugly end of the stick everywhere. So no matter if they was Haitian, no matter if they was Dominican and Hispanic or just regular black and light skin, but it was colorism against the darker skinned people. And
for sure.
It was like you kind of get the ugly at the back end of the stick. And even if it's not full-on racism, the colorism exists. Even if it wasn't said, you know, just by seeing who hung out together. So it made me look at all cultures different, even though a lot of the cultures derive from the same culture, motherland Africa, if you didn't know. But where all the darker skinned people originated from, and you know where fair skinned people eventually came from too. So just do your history, man. That's what it taught me, to actually look into those cultures, see where those Latin countries came from? Where do you think they get all these dance moves from? Where they get all these festivals and good food and spices? Where does it all come from? Some type of African origin, you know? So it just opened my eyes to racism and colorism. So I never really experienced all-out racism because I probably would have a problem with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I probably would do something about it or speak on it, you know? So, but colorism kind of is on the low. So I
think colorism, it's not as like prominent as it was. I think that being dark skinned is more accepted now than it was like 5-10 years ago.
Yeah, because they finding out about the melanin. They find out melanin. This is gold, baby.
Right, exactly.
It's gold.
Yeah, but I think especially in like entertainment, you know, for sure, like.
Yeah, the door's opening. Because you're the typical girl, light skin, you know, long hair, long, fine texture hair, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
you could pop out with an afro and be black as hell now.
Right. It's all good. But before it was kind of like, you know, shunned upon, like the big lip, big nose, dark skin. Like that wasn't something that was
we
as embraced.
We didn't see a lot of that stuff younger that represented us coming up. You know what I mean? We didn't get to see it.
Yeah, for sure.
So relationships, how does that play, like the corporate world, colorism, racism? How does that like go into relationships? Like is relationships kind of like, are you scared to cross the barrier into other cultures?
Well, I want to say I love my Black kings.
Absolutely.
I absolutely think Black men are number one.
Yeah.
They are the epitome of like
Yeah.
kings, like for real. Like we were the first kings and queens, you know, if you do your research in history.
Please do your research because we ain't talking out our ass.
Right. You know, I think Black men are so beautiful, so powerful, and I feel like a lot of them don't even
Black
know.
Women.
Yes, and Black women too. But I just don't think a lot of them even realize their power and haven't tapped into it.
They don't even realize they're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're trying to be like something else sometimes.
But I think Black women and Black men, we kind of play a part in each other's downfall. Like I feel like I see so many podcasts or conversations about the negativity of a Black man or a Black woman.
Yep.
And
none really about the good thing.
Right. And then I feel like other podcasts, like other cultures, I don't see them really harp on or talk as much down on their women as we do. Like, I don't know what the comfortability is. Maybe because we've been pinned against each other for so many years since slavery
divide
time.
and conquer.
You know, so it's like it's been kind of embedded in us and our thought process, and it's just kind of like the trauma that's been passed down from generations.
And just unaccountability. Like,
Yeah.
it's easy just to, I'm going to just blame that nigga. I'm going to just blame her.
Yeah.
And him and her is us. Like, we all to blame. Like,
Yeah.
I would never say it's all Black women's fault. Like, dude, like you know, I hear a lot of the Black man is a Black. We always in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And we always kind of get held accountable. It's time to hold ourselves accountable.
Yeah.
You know, understand the negativity you bring along with you. You know, understand your flaws and embrace them and change or adapt. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
Black man and Black woman is no one that is worse than the other. You know.
I mean, it's situationally, I think that it depends, you know, because there's times where, like, yes, the Black man fucks up. There's times when the Black woman fucks up. But like you said, accountability is king. Like, a lot of us don't take accountability. We're always looking for, like, a scapegoat, or it's someone else's fault, or we're blaming, you know, the other party. So I think I would like to see more of Black women and men loving on each other out loud.
So, what does that mean for Juice in a relationship?
Well,
like
I mean, I definitely want
to.
I'm dating, you know. I definitely want to be married and have kids within the next couple of years.
Oh yeah,
preferably a Black
on
man.
camera, we was talking about this marriage thing. I know you saying marriage and dating. Like, how long we got? Like, how long? What you saying?
Well, what in terms of men?
Yeah, because that's important.
Statistically, men live longer when they're married, and women actually live. We live a little less longer when we're married. Single women actually outlive married women. But overall, the success rate of Black marriages is like in the 80th percentile. I know we see a lot of things in the media, but that's just kind of the small percentage of it. But overall, like, majority of Black men are married to Black women, and majority of men who are married are more successful than a single man. Yeah. So I think it's important. Partnership, you know, you have an accountability partner, you have someone to have your back, you have someone that's rooting for you all the time, you know, you have someone that you can kind of go through different seasons in life with. And I think that's important, because always having to do things conversations on your own. I know a lot of women out here like, oh, F these niggas, whatever. And I'm good on my own, Miss Independent. But it's like, I'm like, yes, that's cool. I can do that. But I want to be married. I want to be in partnership.
And how long does a guy got to propose to Juice?
I think within a year to 2 max. I think
You see why I asked her the damn question.
I think within a year or 2, I think.
So a year or 2 dating with Juice got to end in some type of engagement or some type of talks of marriage in the future.
We should already be talking about marriage within like the first few months, and not saying like marriage like we're
going to scare the brothers.
No. I'm not saying that in terms of us. I just want to know where your mentality is in terms of marriage, period. So the conversation of marriage, what you want, what marriage looks like for you, the benefits, the things that don't necessarily benefit you. Like, I want to know those things because I don't want to date a guy that's like, oh, I'm just going with the flow. You know, I just want to see where it goes. Like, I feel like you're wasting your time. That's why it's important to have certain conversations within the first few months of dating.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely a conversation that should be brought up kind of immediately, you know, even if it's not discussing the future of the two.
Of you, right, exactly.
Just what do you think about it? 1 to 2 years is a little extreme because, for me, because I feel like it takes a little longer to get to know somebody. 1 to 2 years, you might not, depending on who the person is.
But it depends on how you...
And their mindset towards the goal.
But how you structure your relationship. How much time are you spending with this person? Are you asking the right questions? Are you guys doing things together?
So this 2 years, is y'all damn near spending every day?
I mean, you can if you meet the right person.
So, all right, what about like living together before? Like, is that the thing, or is like?
I've never lived with a man that I've been in a relationship with. Never.
Okay.
I've never lived with him. I've spent the night. You know, he spent the night with me, type thing, but never like lived together. Some people say you should do it just because like that's when you really know a person, when you live with them. And you know, some people are not for it. Me personally,
would you give it a try?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. Like if a man, if like we are on a great path, things are flowing, and it's like, okay, let's lock in and like really like we're talking about marriage. I think it would be appropriate for us to live together. I'm not opposed.
Give
to
it a try.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. Y'all hear that? Don't be too scared. You know what I mean? I feel like if the goal is marriage, and you know, you should want to invest into that. You know, and that takes time. That takes compromise. You know, whether where you want to go with it, if living together before, after. I just think those conversations should be had. You know, and I kind of agree with you.
And I want to ask too, like men and women, what do you get out of dealing with multiple partners? First of all, that's not healthy.
It's not healthy at all.
For your, not even just physical health, your mental, emotional, spiritual. Like it is true. Soul ties is a real thing. So like sleeping with multiple people, like you bringing on the demons.
I learned the hard way.
You know, so it's like, what do you really get out of that? You got to keep up with lives. You're spending more money. The men it's too much. So me personally, it's just like I feel like as you're getting older, I understand if you're younger and it's like you're still trying to explore and figure things out. But when you get to a certain age, it's like it's time to really start dealing with one person at a time.
Yeah.
So
just having that one person is refreshing.
Yes, it's special.
Spreading yourself too thin, coming from somebody that spread themselves too thin at one point in their life is not a good thing because you got to face all that and you got to deal with all that. And a lot of niggas ain't really capable of dealing with all that's on the table. And that's what women be saying to us. Like, dude, how you running around with all these women? You can't afford them. Like, dude, how you going and making all these broken homes? Like, and then it's going to cost you. You're going to pay in the end. And, you know, I'm one of them guys that pay a little bit in certain aspects of having multiple kids with different women. I love my kids. You know, I love my children's mothers from a distance for the sake of Allah, just because they gave birth to my kids. And my kids are healthy. My kids are here. And that's the love that even I don't get it from their mothers, which I don't really want it.
Right.
I get it from the kids.
Right.
And they
got love for them.
I got love for them. I got respect for them. You know. Now, you know, after you know, you go through the
drama and all that.
The drama, because you know they ain't gonna last forever. You know, it felt like it was gonna last forever for me, but it didn't. And we in a great space now, everybody. So I appreciate it, and let's just keep it going.
I have
no
kids, by the way. So, but I
Juice got no kids, and she dating. So you could DM me too.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying I might charge you a small fee. And you gotta be ready to get married in 1 to 2 years, brother. So come with your shit together.
Or at least engage.
Because I'm pre-screening. Nah, you ain't the type. You ain't the type, brother. She talking serious business. Yes. She ain't for play. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Serious. So when it comes to relationships, just take it serious. You know, at our big age, I know people don't like saying that, but I like saying it. You know, at our big age, like grow the fuck up, buddy.
Right, exactly.
The music industry, you know, how does all that play? Go into it's like all our topics kind of line up and go into each other. The music industry and being a black woman and how it is different now. Like how is it for you? Like what does it do for you?
Well, I've kind of taken a step back. Like I've been more focused on just
Not really. I just saw you in the studio.
Yeah, but like I haven't necessarily really put stuff out just yet. You know, I'm kind of prepping and preparing. The times have changed.
Are you making an album or what are you doing?
You know what? And that's the thing. I'm going through certain life experiences, and I think that this point in my career and my life, God is like kind of sitting me down a little bit.
Okay.
And I think it's reevaluating how I write, what I'm writing about,
and
not getting caught up in like the hype of what's popping and you know.
You don't seem like a person that's a follower anyway, or a person that's trendy like that.
No, I try to do my own thing, but at the same time, like you got to know your audience, you got to know what people really want to hear.
Absolutely.
So that's why it's hard for me as an artist to kind of stick to one sound because it's like. I can do all types of sounds. So it's like I want to be able to... I see that
you jump around.
Right, to attract different type of fans.
Do you think it's like something like maybe you haven't found your own personal like vibe, aesthetic, or your...
I mean, aesthetically, I think I've kind of mastered that. Like in terms of how I look and how I present myself.
What about sound?
Sound, I don't know if I've necessarily mastered it more so than it's like I know what I'm more comfortable with and what I know what people like more from me.
That makes sense.
But I think because I'm so diverse in what it is that like I've experienced and what it is that I like to talk about, it's gonna always be hard for me to stick to one sound. Like even like a person like Drake. I mean, you know, I think the voices of the artists are the distinctive like factor, but like if you're a real artist, you're not gonna stay on one sound.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna jump around. Like Beyonce made a country album. She gives us pop. She gives us R&B.
I jump all over the place.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know
like,
if I got a style at my point. I just
do your thing. Right. What
and
feels
I don't
good.
really look even sometimes when it comes to listeners, I just express myself.
Right.
I use music as a form of expression. Videos as a form of expression.
Yeah.
And the content as a form of expressing myself. It's kind of like a lifestyle content, like what I do. Musically, podcasting, film is just more of a lifestyle stuff. It's just authentic and real. So whatever it is what it is for me.
And like
whether you
Drake,
like it or not.
Right, whether you like it or not. And even like with Drake,
myself.
like he just dropped 3 different sounds of albums.
All right, so what you feel about it? Like, what you feel about Drake?
First of all, I love Drake.
I usually don't discuss like artists and stuff like that, but let's get into it.
I love Drake.
You're a big Drake fan?
I am a big Drake fan.
Okay.
I think for me, because I grew up listening to Drake, I'm still kind of nostalgic and stuck on like the "Thank Me Later, Take Care" Drake.
So what is that? The more
that's more
pop vibe.
No, Drake was more into. So I felt like it was more of a rawness. It was less toxic. It was more in tune with his emotions. It was more.
This is my problem with Drake. All right, I'm not the hugest Drake fan as far as personality wise,
right.
Maybe, and that's why I like the toxicity.
I grew up watching Degrassi. Like that's how in tune I am with Drake. I love Drake.
Me, I feel like he going bad. He going toxic.
But I think that Drake has not, because he's even mentioned it, he's still healing. Drake has not, you can see that in the music, you can see that in the topics of what he's talking about. He's not healed from whatever the whole situation with Kendrick and just different, and people turning on him. I think he's still coping
Drake
with that.
Drake be doing some bullshit.
Okay,
I don't think Drake's an accountable person.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. I think he realizes... Because I don't want to say he played a part in this beef because he really didn't necessarily do anything to Kendrick.
He be, not just Kendrick, but he be messing with niggas' girls, man.
But that's just...
That ain't...
Okay, but that's also on the girls,
how these dudes
too.
care about their
girls.
But
that's also on the girls, too. We can't fully blame Drake. Drake is going to be Drake. We know that he's a man with money. But we can't blame the girls because
Drake is going to be... Drake is Drake. So how we going to blame the girls?
Because women...
they fold.
But they fold, exactly. But if you have a man and and Drake approaches you, it's like... For me, for instance, if Drake was ever to come at me, I'm going to try to be his sis. I feel like you get more out of men being their friends and trying to fuck with them.
Absolutely.
If you be a man's friend, like he will do a lot more for you than when the sexual aspect comes into play.
My homegirls kill, steal, and deal for me if I needed them to. I ain't gonna lie, like they is some riders, and you just can't put your penis in them.
Right, you don't
Because once
have
you put your
to.
penis in them, I
It
think that
changes
destroys the dynamic of the relationship.
So, right, that's what I'm saying. If I ever got an opportunity to like be close with someone in the industry, I want to be your friend. Like we're not fucking. Like I don't want to do none of that.
All right,
I
what about the dudes that's, you know, these dudes got pride. This man is light skinned Jewish little dude
That's
taking
okay.
on women. It's not okay for them.
I'm gonna present
I'm not
myself
tender like that.
but I'm gonna present myself in a way of being an asset to him. You know, it's not gonna be something where like, and it's like,
But
you're Drake.
you can see why they don't like him or why they kind of beefing? If that's what he doing?
But that's a lot of artists. That doesn't mean that like Kendrick's reason.
So you saying everybody do it? Why Drake taking it? Why Drake taking it? Why everybody on Drake's ass if everybody messing with all everybody girls?
But see, that's not why people are on Drake's ass. People are on Drake's ass because of the stuff Kendrick was saying in his songs. Remember, he called him a pedophile. Although technically, he wasn't really calling Drake a pedophile. He was talking about the friend that he was around, and it was kind of like, well, why are you around a pedophile? That to me, I kind of feel like, you know, that and just the players, the NBA players, and the other artists that were on stage with Kendrick when he performed that song.
So is any of this Drake's fault?
The whole beef, no, because Drake was trying to big up Kendrick. Kendrick to me, I love Kendrick, but I think Kendrick displays Napoleon complex. He's a shorter guy. I think that
You defended Drake a lot.
I like Drake and I like Kendrick. I'm a fan
But
of both.
what about all the other people that's in the beef? Did everybody did something to Drake? Everybody did something to Drake?
Okay, but the beef really, if you look at it, there was no beef. Like
Until it was a beef with Kendrick.
There was an underlining beef with Drake and Kendrick.
From everybody because of the Kendrick beef.
But it is true.
So everybody on the bandwagon.
But that made people feel comfortable to come against Drake.
Okay.
Because Kendrick was the only one.
My man made a point like that. Okay,
Kendrick was the only one that kind of heightened it. Like they may have had their little tit for tat things, might have thrown jabs in different songs and stuff like that. But like the thing that really ticked Kendrick off was him calling them the big three when he was talking about him, Cole. Remember that song they did?
Absolutely.
First person shooter, I think it's called. And he was it Cole that said that? The big three. I can't remember who said who's the big three. But once that was said, Kendrick, like, he just went haywire. And it was like all the things that he had bottled up and felt about Drake. He's like, I'm going to take advantage now because now you mentioning me. Now I have a reason to really go at you, even though it's really not that deep. But now because I've had all these emotions and real ill feelings bottled up towards you all these years, now I get to talk about it, and he made a song.
So do you think with these
Grammys, he went about it right, but people utilized that as a reason to go against Drake. They jumped on the bandwagon.
Okay.
People that were his friends,
That's a good
people
point.
that was rocking with him. Now everybody's on Kendrick's
why
side.
y'all ain't been say nothing?
Because the song is lit. That and to me was crazy.
Did Drake come back on him? Is like did this album?
But see,
did this singles?
Absolutely,
did
but
he,
I think
did
Drake
he prove everybody like?
I think that Drake is always going to be a better artist than Kendrick.
Okay.
And he's always going to, you see now he done beat Michael Jackson's record.
Yeah. So that's what I asked. So,
album,
so none of that,
he's
so
topping the top 40.
What Kendrick was bringing, all that means nothing now.
Well, yeah, because look where Kendrick's going to go back in his show. That's what Kendrick does. He comes out every few years. He drops some bombs. He drops some, some big stuff, whether it's albums or single, and he goes back into his own world.
He wouldn't have did all that without the help of the labels, without the help of
the bots or whatever.
Other people jumping on the beef bandwagon.
Yeah.
And now that Drake is back out, the king is back. Is that what you said?
The king has never went away.
Okay. Ooh.
The king was just hibernating. He was preparing. He was watching and observing how people were moving, who was really for him, who was against him, who turned on him. And he did the right thing. He made music.
This plays kind of into our next topic, which is oppression. Have you experienced oppression? What do you know about oppression? What's your thoughts? What's Juice's opinion or perspective on oppression?
Well, I mean, I think oppression in a whole is not as like prominent as it used to be back in the day. I think, just
it's not blatant oppression.
It's not blatant, right? But I mean, yeah, I mean, you can be oppressed in workspaces. You can be oppressed in, just everyday life. Again, being black, being a woman, or being a black man. You're gonna always go into situations where you more than likely are gonna have the shorter end of the stick. And I think that the reason why a lot of other races, especially whites, try to oppress us or have been oppressing us because, let's face it, to me it boils down to jealousy.
Jealousy of being a threat.
Jealousy and feeling like we're a threat when it's like, because you got to think about it. You guys really plotted for your entire lives, your entire lineage to take over a whole nother race who was minding their business, living their life. I mean, we could have coexisted. There were so many things they took from us and utilized as their own, and even to certain inventions that they still use to this day. It's like we could have really just coexisted because technically we were doing better when we were segregated.
Absolutely.
You know, the black dollar, it circulated in the market longer. Black businesses were flourishing more. It was honestly a better time for Black people, but I'm not opposed to us commingling. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is white people really oppressed us for majority of our I guess, heritage, our lives, our lineage, what have you, all because they didn't like the way we looked. They were jealous of how we looked. They were fearful of us, and we didn't really pose a threat. We were just existing. We were just living our lives.
Like you said, and previously, we are the original kings and queens.
Yeah.
You know, they took our religions, they took everything from us and used it as their own and made us feel like nothing. Yeah. And not just Black people, Hispanics, you know, other races too. You know, Chinese, Asians, a lot of people, you know.
Yeah, so I mean,
oppression is definitely...
It's not as like heightened as it was, but I think a lot of things that Black people go through now is just trauma that our ancestors have kind of passed on and we haven't really dealt with or coped with.
I don't really like oppression. I don't like bullies.
Yeah.
I don't like none of that. You know, oppression, and I also feel like people that was once oppressed, when they get power, they be even worse than what they face.
Oppressors.
Yeah, the oppressed turn into the oppressors is like the worst for me, you know, and that's how sometimes I be feeling like about the LGBTQ XYZ community sometimes.
Why you say that?
Because like they were definitely oppressed. They were definitely part of a lot of different movements, and I feel that once they got their rights and they got these laws passed, they fuck everybody else, and they kind of...
I won't say that.
They're kind of bullies.
No, I won't say
feel
that.
They're bullies.
I think that what I've noticed is, because I see a lot of...
They ain't oppressed no more.
Right, they're not. But I see a lot of the LGBT community, you know, like, especially like, I don't want to say Black activists, but I still see them advocating for, you know, for the rights of women or, you know, or Black people or what have you. What I think the issue is in the trans community, what I've noticed a lot is the trans women, which are men transitioning to women, have this like stigma as if women, because they call us cis women. And it's like, but you are, and this is no shade because I love the trans community. This is not a disrespect. It's just me trying to get a better understanding. You shade us and call us cis women, but you are trying to transition into being us. So it's not that we hate you because our men may like you, because, you know, there's a lot of down low men and they like trans women. It's not even right, and I won't say unfortunately. You know, you like it, I love it. Like whatever you like, your cup of tea. I just think the download aspect of it is the messed up part, because now you're messing with people's livelihood and health, and you know you live in a secret life. Be who you are. But I think the thing with trans women is it's like this entitlement, like. You are still biologically a man. No matter how you try to flip it, screw it, you were born a man. And there are functionalities of what you have as a man that you will never be able to do as a woman, no matter what you get removed or surgically added. And I think the respect level for women has diminished for trans women because they feel like they are now women. And
I feel like women let them usher it in. And even the feminist movement has made people accept it. You know, it's like, all right, I'm gonna make my husband accept this gay man and or trans man, and now that the husband done hit the man, now you upset.
No, because
you
old school gays wasn't moving like this.
You brought that man here. You told us to accept it, and this is for their rights. And now he hitting the man, and you got a problem with it.
No,
it's like,
I agree, but what I'm saying is like, because if you think about like old school gays, people say this all the time, like the old school gays, they weren't like this. Like they lived in their own worlds. Like we coexisted. They never tried to outshine a woman.
Once you open this door,
but it
goes to another door that opens another door. And honestly, you know, you ushered in a movement that might go into it changes, adapts, and grows. And it's going to grow into something that's uncontrollable because let it.
But no, but you see, that's the respect aspect of men for women. Like, because at the end of the day, these are still men transitioning to women, so they are trans women. To me, you're a trans woman. Like, I'm a woman, you're a trans woman. But I think there's a level of disrespect that it's not even that we've allowed. It's just that because they're no longer oppressed.
Welcomed it.
Right. I don't even say, well, we welcome the community, period.
Absolutely.
But they took it upon themselves to now kind of be at odds with us when it's like, yo, we are the blueprint for what it is you're trying to do. We shouldn't be at odds. We should be coexisting, commingling. We should be bigging each other up, loving on each other, whatever you want.
I ain't really feeling the trends and all that. I'm not. That's just coming from my personal beliefs, my religious beliefs, my personal beliefs. Because now, now you got the men beating the hell out of women in the sports, really like taking over,
issue.
like
that I don't agree with.
And you got the army paying for these guys to get, and excuse me if I'm not using the right terms. I'm not knowledgeable in that environment, so my apologies if I say something incorrect. But you got the state and the government paying for them to get hormones and stuff like that, and then complaining about it. We fight for everything, fight against everything. Y'all should have been fighting against that for a little bit, especially for our babies. Like, we don't want our kids, thinking that is okay. We don't want them growing up thinking I could just transform. That's not how God made you. And if you feel that you are imbalanced and that you are a mistake, then you can make some corrections if that's what you feel. But I wouldn't just welcome everybody to that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that plays into mental health too. And I feel like, maybe it should be some type of formal screening or DNA check or something that could help process a lot of these claims being made. Because now you could claim to be a damn cat. You could just say, I'm this. And we supposed to acknowledge you as that.
But we don't have to.
I ain't got to do nothing.
You don't have to.
I ain't got to do nothing but stay black and die.
Right.
That's all I have to do. Anything between that is a choice. And that's what you got to understand. It's not what you want to do. It's a choice that you made. And you got to live with your goddamn choices. All right, Juice, back to you. Just going to my little tangent a little bit.
Well, I was just going to say to your points, definitely in sports, because men biologically are stronger. So I just
think whack.
I think that trans people should have their own, just like they have the Special Olympics.
Have your own league.
Right. They should have a league for trans people. It's not to segregate or discriminate. It's just like, it just
make
makes
a trans
more sense.
record.
Right.
How about that?
For sure. And again, to your point with the kids, I think that exposing them too young because the mind is still developing, I think that's a detriment to them. And I think that once you're 18, if that's the decision you want to make, then be exposed to that. But children being transitioned and forced to take hormones, I don't agree with that. I think you should let a kid be a kid. And as a parent, as the adult, kind of guide them, because if they were born a girl, then they should be doing girl things. Now, there's some tomboys, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with being tomboy, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a guy that's a little more on the feminine side, you might be a guy that's into ballet. That doesn't mean you're gay. But all I'm saying is you don't necessarily have to force it on your kids. Just kind of guide them, And if you notice there's certain things about them, maybe they may need to seek help in terms of a therapist or talking to someone outside of you
or
to maybe help cope and manage those feelings that they're unsure about. Because a lot of it at this age, that young age, is uncertainty.
Absolutely.
So it's like the mind is molded very easily. So, I just want to see more trans people, trans women per se, and women more like, in terms of being at odds, more like respect, exactly. Just more of a respectful
I respect your choices and your decisions to do what you wanted to do.
Right.
And that's how I leave it at that.
Yeah.
It's for you. It ain't for me. It's between you and God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Respectfully. So if that's what you choose to do, please have respect for people who choose not to accept it, or choose not to agree with it, or choose not to do it or allow it to be done in their home or their environment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm far from homophobic, because I learned a lot of the homophobic people be the ones that be down low, or be the ones that be dipping and dabbling when you're super against it. Why are you so upset about it? It's not you. That's between them and God. You feel what I'm saying? So I ain't with all that trying to eradicate them and full out throw a rage war against them. Right. If that's what you want to do, that's cool. Do it over there, and I'ma mind my business, because it don't got nothing to do with me and mine. You feel what I'm saying?
And I kind of want to point out too, that's kind of similar to, like, I noticed when black men particularly, I don't know why, and maybe you guys can answer this. When you go to another race, why do you have to downplay black women in the process? Like, if you like white women, that's cool, but you don't have to be like I see a lot of black men like, oh, because black girls got attitudes and the white girl gonna do this. Like what you like about the other race, keep us out of it. You don't have to downplay us. You came from a black woman.
Like you said, or we talked earlier, it's just finding excuses not to be accountable. And you might be one of them black dudes that want to like the fat white chicks that give you money and stuff like that. That's cool.
And some of them don't. They be with the skinny ones. They be with the thicker ones. It don't matter. It's just you don't have to disrespect us in the process of whatever it is you want to be with.
Because we mentioned that, it's going into our next topics, which is black men and the fathers, and black women and stereotypes. So, to the black men that got it down, black women to how you say it? You down black women. Okay. Down black women to feel, to
empower the white woman or the Spanish, whoever you're with.
Decision or choice. That's corny. You don't have to do that.
Right.
Black women, that's everybody got their flaws. Black men got their flaws too. Mm-hmm. You don't see us crying about it. You feel what I'm saying? So I think you just gotta just own up to what you like or what your preferences is okay, right, and not put it on anybody else.
Yep.
So go ahead and give it to your opinion about black men and fathers and black women and the stereotypes.
Well, I mean, black men as fathers, like, it's important. Like, we need the fathers in the home. I think it's so unfortunate that so many black people are, I don't want to say baby mothers, but, not sticking together. And some people choose to stick together for the sake of the child. But I think that a lot of people have kids out of wedlock because they get caught up in the sex and not more so the actual emotional capacity of the person, of being with them beyond the sexual aspect. So I think it's important, if you're going to have raw sex, if you're going to be shooting up the club, whatever it is that you're doing, be cautious and mindful of who it is that you're shooting up the club with or who you're having raw sex with, because, yeah, the sex may be good, but they may not be a good person. They may not be a good mother. They may not be a good father. And I think it's so important that we don't keep getting caught up in that, oh, well, it feels good, I don't want to use a condom, or I don't want to pull out. It's like, yo, you have to think about, you're going to be tied to this person for the rest of your life. And yes, children are a blessing. It is a beautiful thing to be able to bring life to the world. But I think too many people get caught up in, like, men, they think with one head and not the other, and women just kind of letting them, do whatever inside of them. It's like, yo, like, Black fathers are important. I love that, I love to see Black men being fathers, being with their children, doing what they got to do. Shame on you if you're a Black father who is not a part of your kid's life. I think that's ultimate disrespect to not only the kid, but to the woman that you laid with, and even to yourself. Like, you have a whole nother human being out here, and you just out here living life, not checking on them, not helping, not supporting, not being there for them. Like, that trauma of not having the Black father in the home is going to linger with that kid for the rest of their life, even in adulthood. And I can attest to that. I had my father was not there. I had a stepfather, but he wasn't emotionally there for me. He was just there. So if you're going to be a stepfather, be a father. You know what I'm saying? Be active in the kid's life. Talk to the kid. It's not all about disciplining and disrespecting and, beating your kid when they do something wrong. There's so many other methods to correct your child instead of beating them or torturing them or whatever it is you do. But, I think that because they even, again, statistically, single Black fathers, I guess, I don't want to say raise better kids, but statistically, if you come out of a home where you were raised by a single Black father versus a single Black mother, the likelihood of your success rate is you have a better chance of being successful.
What do you know why? Do you have an idea why? I think
it's just the way that men are, I don't want to say emotionally, but just how they deal with correction.
Discipline.
And discipline. And they don't necessarily coddle as much as women may, because that's in our nature. I think that a lot of women...
We don't straight offense. Like, to be flat out, I'm a Black father, and I'm a strict parent because I have a dark past of my own. I just zero tolerance.
Yeah.
I'm not coddling. This is what it is. And it's been like that from when they toddlers to teenagers to adults. So I'm only one way. I'm not going to... hey, hey Johnny, don't do that.
And then
I pick a side. My side is strictness and discipline, and I stay with it. And for women, not saying that, that's what fathers are for. So that's we balance. That's the masculinity in men. Period. Rather just black fathers, just men. Period.
Yeah.
And women, you have that coddling and nurturing spirit, but you can't be the nurturer and the discipline. That's why we need each other, black people. You know what I'm saying? We need each other for balance, masculinity, femininity, balance. I have to have femininity. I got 3 girls. Now I'm fucking losing when it comes to the femininity department. I got my girls walking around like soldiers. But it's good at one aspect, but I still need that femininity around for my girls. Like at one point, it's gonna be like, all right, my kid damn near thugging with me. But you need the femininity, you need the nurturing of a mother, because I just don't have it in me like that.
But it's not that you don't have it in you.
The balance.
You have to. I think
find it.
With black men, they don't tap into their emotions as much. I think it's been kind of like since young, you guys
until
have been
you have daughters and you ain't got no damn choice. That's when it kind of happens,
right? But like I feel like we've in our community, it's a known thing that you're kind of raised to kind of mask your feelings. You kind of have to like hold them in. You're supposed to be strong. You can't really show too much emotion. You can't cry. Like it was always frowned upon.
And we don't teach it to the next generation. We don't teach that you have to be some type of, like, I got some feminine traits. I'm far from homosexual. I'm far from being a feminine man, but I get my nails and feet done when I got to. I make sure I'm clean and smell good when I have to, and sometimes I be thugging like a man. I'm a masculine man. I'm in the gym. I ain't worried about what I look like and stuff like that, but you have to create some type of balance. And I learned, to have that balance eventually over time, and I got that through having little girls, not even through dealing with women, not even through my mother and sister being raised by them. I got that from watching my kids grow and understanding what they need and learning from the babies,
Yeah, true. And I mean, some men are fortunate enough to have, fathers who have that balance where they're strict, but they still allow them to feel.
Absolutely.
And
emotional intelligence.
Yes, exactly. So,
what about like black women and their stereotypes that we face? Like anyone, like just even like the negativity, the angry black woman, or the negativity that you guys face, like the stereotypes. Where do you want to go with it? Whatever your mom says.
Yeah, the stereotype. I think the main stereotype of black women is our attitude. Okay. I think a lot of black women just have a chip on their shoulder just because of just what we've had to deal with and encounter in life. Period. Like, I'm not trying to make excuses for us, because all of us didn't grow up the same, but in some aspect we did. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of similarities, and I think that, and I saw Dr. Umar talking about it, and it was a great point. He had mentioned how a lot of young black women have been traumatized from young because they were little girls in adult women bodies. And because of that, because of having a certain figure, certain stature, older men were attracted to them and trying to deal with them. And us being young and dumb, because I was one of those girls that was young dealing with the older guy, we thought it was cool. We thought it was okay. But looking back in reality, it's like the trauma started from then, because it's like you're dealing with things that you really don't even have the mental capacity to understand or cope with or express, but these men are loving your body. They're loving the way you look. They're treating you a certain way because you look older, but in reality, you're still a little girl. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of us have experienced that, whether it's, the disrespect from family or from friends or from just environments, from being a black woman, standing out, because you're going to stand out as a black woman. I don't care what nobody say. You're going to always stand out as a black woman wherever you go. And I just think that instead of being embraced, we were always looked at as like, oh, she can handle that. She can deal with that. Like, and even in our culture, talking about trauma or talking about how we felt, it was like, you can't do that. You know, like, it was more allotted for the women than the men, but I think that just overall, like, being able to express yourself and tell your parents how you felt, or like you were sad or whatever, it's like, because they came up in a generation where they had to suck it up. It's like a lot of our parents told us to suck it up instead of like really actually dealing with our traumas and talking to us and trying to figure out ways to cope with it and heal. It's like we had to just keep it moving. So now,
and that was passed on from generation to generation. And that might have caused a lot of the problems that we deal with now, especially concerning black people and stereotypes and emotions and feelings about everything.
Yep.
let's pivot from that. Shout out to the black man. Shout out to the black woman.
Of course.
Shout out to everybody. You know, back to marriage. You know, Juice is strict with her marriage thing.
I'm just saying, like,
let's get into the pros and cons. We're gonna do marriage first, pros and cons, and then we're gonna pivot right to social media, pros and cons.
Okay.
Because I feel like social media is destroying marriages, relationships. So we're gonna get into marriage, pros and cons, and then social media, pros and cons. Let's go, Juice.
Well, I mean, again, the pros, your livelihood, your, you know, always having that life partner, having someone to have your back through sickness, through health, through the good, the bad, the ugly, you know what I'm saying? Not having to deal with certain things by yourself. You have I mean, for the most part, some women don't work, but for the most part, you'll have a 2-income household. I'm not one of those women that's like, oh, he got to pay for everything. Like, I'm gonna help my man out. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if I got a good guy, I'm going to help out. Like, y'all. So
you Juice going 50-50?
I didn't say all of that.
What's the percentage?
Okay, so I want him to pay like the mortgage, and like I can handle like the light bill.
So it's like 70-30, 70-30.
The groceries, you know what I'm saying?
80-20.
I mean, like, I'll take care of certain stuff. Like, I'll pay for a haircut. Like, I'll take my man out. I'll take my man out. I'm not opposed to doing that.
50-50 is not a monetary thing for people that think it is. 50-50 is when you going, I got whatever I got the other half of what
whatever
you don't.
Lacking.
So if you want me to, if the mortgage is what you expect from me, I got all the other stuff. That's the other half of the things.
Right, exactly.
It's not half of
everything.
how much we make, monetary wise. It's I got this half, you got the other half.
Care of this.
Whatever it is that y'all decide in between. Yep. For people that's confused, you know what I'm saying? 50-50 is not a monetary thing. 50-50 is an overall. I got this half, you got that half. Whatever we decide is in that.
Yep, exactly. So, but yeah, I'm not opposed to like taking care of my man. Like, I feel like you water me, I water you. You take care of me, I take care of you. And it's like, that's the best type of relationship.
That's balance. That's what 50-50 is, balance.
The balance. You know what I'm saying? You pouring into me, I'm pouring into you. Like, that's how I feel like people flourish the most. When you have somebody constantly pouring into you and, you know, rooting for you and cheering you on and supporting you, it's like, you're going to always want to do your best.
So what's the cons about marriage? We said a lot of good things. What could be bad? I think
the only con about it is if it goes sour. Right. If it goes sour and then having to deal with the assets.
It's supposed to be for life till death do us part. I don't have that understanding of why we have, overall a 70% divorce rate that's kind of mostly initiated by women.
Well, yeah, because I think that women are leaders. But the thing about men is men will drag something on even if they don't like you, even if they don't want to be with you. They'll keep you around just for the convenience. Men are simple. Men are very simple when it comes to how they kind of maneuver or how they are in relationships. Women are, yes, we are the more complex beings. But I think for women...
That was a good point, that men will stick it out more to the end, even if they aren't happy, because... That's what it is.
That's just their nature. Yeah. I think it's more of a nature thing with men. But for women, I think even now with the whole, feminist empowerment movement and just women being able to do more and flourish and have more opportunities, I feel like women don't necessarily want to be held back. We're not our grandmothers. We're not our mothers. And I think a lot of our grandmothers and mothers dealt with things that we frown upon now. So if we have an exit route, we're gonna leave. Now, more times than not, people stick it out. But if it's like someone's cheating constantly, they're abusing you, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, or they're just not supportive of you, it's like, well, why would you stay? Men, you should leave more. If you're in a relationship with a woman that's not doing certain things that you're not happy with, if you've had the conversation, now don't just leave. Yeah. Give a person a chance to, because sometimes people don't even realize what it is they're doing. You have to talk to your partner. You have to tell them like, okay, this is what I like, so I don't like, this is what I've noticed you've been doing. Have those conversations. And once you have those tough conversations, if there is no change, then you should leave. Yeah. And that goes for both parties.
I just think, the con definitely, that's like, for me, the con is divorce. Yeah. Or just like, unaccountability for the things you just said, like for what you don't know you're doing. If it's brought to your attention, it's time to hold yourself accountable.
Right.
If the man got to keep holding you accountable about this stupid little things that he doesn't like, it's not going to work. Right. A man should not be holding his woman accountable all the time. The woman should hold herself accountable. Just as a man is a cheater. If you're a cheater, then get some help. Hold yourself accountable. Take a break. Go get yourself together, or go be single. You know what I mean? That's accountability. And with women, equality means You have to be accountable. You have to face the consequences and repercussions just like men. There's no different. We are the same. We just do things differently. We do the same things differently. You feel what I'm saying? Men and women. Women cheat, men cheat. They just do it differently.
Yeah.
Men don't cheat like how women cheat. Women cheat better. We all know that, right? Because cats, dogs. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So have that understanding, and if you want to be equal, or you want to be treated equal, or you want to be on the same level as a man, that you got to handle the same consequences and repercussions that these men have too. You know, some of these things that men do, they go to jail for, they die for, they get fucked up for. You know, it applies to you too. Everybody.
Yeah,
you know?
agreed.
So I just think that's the only kind of con for me. You know, in between is just things that you could work out, or you can't work out, and you know. You gotta take that separation. You gotta split, which creates so many broken homes and creates a lot of the problems that we all have together as a community.
As a community, yeah, for sure.
Social media, pros and cons.
Well, I think the pros of it is just being able to monetize, your content, making money from it. It helps grow businesses. It's changed people's lives. I mean, you've seen people go from being homeless to having homes because of GoFundMe's. You know, or people just posting their business, you know, or, you know, getting certain cosigns, whatever, you know, if you're like in the industry or what have you. So it's definitely a pro in terms of like visibility, finance, you know,
Absolutely.
And just, you know, getting yourself out there.
Spreading awareness.
Yep.
Some people don't get nothing out of it, but, you know, information. And educational use is very important. You know.
But the cons of it, I mean, I think it has opened the door for a lot of people to think they have more options than they do. And I think,
opinions.
Yeah, opinions and just relationships. Like, it's tarnished relationships. Because, like, you got to think about it. Back in the day, like, you had to meet a person. You had to call their house phone before cell phones. Like, you had to talk to the parents. Like, if the parent picked up, you had to introduce yourself and you know, may have a little conversation with the family before you got to talk to the actual daughter or son or whoever you were calling from. Like, it was more in-person interaction.
Absolutely.
Like, the relationships were built better, lasted longer. People didn't have a bunch of options to go look at and scroll on. Men and women didn't have people to compare their partners to, like, oh, she looked like this. Why you don't look like this? Like, we didn't have those distractions. It was straight, like, one-on-one, in-person, like, vibes. Now it's like, oh, you pissed me off? Oh, I'm about to scroll on here, go see what this shorty doing, or go see what he about to do, or he outside. I'm about to go see if I can, me and my girl. Like, it's so much openness to, like, disaster, you know? So
I think it's just too much.
It's overwhelming.
To be seen. It's overwhelming to people now. Everybody's a follower. Everybody doing the same thing.
Yep.
You used to not be able to even tell where a person was from unless they spoke, their slang, by the way they dress. Now everybody look the same. Atlanta, New York, LA is the same fucking dude. And even the lingo, even the sound.
Even
like,
the girls. The
girls too. Like, everything
you know?
the same. It's nothing really original no more.
Yeah.
It's very trendy and
even for artistry, you got to think about
same
it.
thing follows by.
Yo, like, when we used to get albums, like, albums would, like, be on play for, like, months, years even. And it was like for a select,
long no more.
Right, it was for a select few of talented folks. Now it's like anybody can make a song. Anybody could blow up off of TikTok or Instagram. Like, it's really not about talent. It's just about exposure and who you know.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
so
it's
tarnished and it's saturated the
So
industry.
Is it more of a gift or is it more of a curse?
It just depends on how you use it.
Absolutely.
You know, for those who are smart about it, they're going to just use it for business, use it for money, and keep it moving. They're going to live their life in real life. But there's some people that live their life for social media.
I think you should look into how you use it and look into how it may or may not benefit. Or hurt you. Mm-hmm. And I feel that people don't have that accountability to do that, or that self-awareness of your usage or your indulging into social media. I use social media all the time. Mm-hmm. Do I use it to watch other people and to see what they got going on, to follow? Not at all. Yeah. I wouldn't even go, look up somebody and see what they got going on. If it happens to come across, I happen to come across it. But for me, it's more for promotional, informational, and educational use. Mm-hmm. And I feel like maybe people should do that a little more.
Or take a break. I think more people need to take breaks. And don't announce it. Just take the damn break.
Don't announce it. I'm going to take a break for 7 days.
Right. Like, just take the break.
And we
come
see
back.
you in 2.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, if we don't see you break it. You can't hang. All right, let's go into being attractive and how to maneuver. How do you feel about being a beautiful black woman and how does that, you know, how does that determine
It's a gift and a curse.
your movements?
Well, it's a gift because obviously, like, you know, pretty privilege is a thing.
Absolutely.
You know, like if you're a more attractive woman, you will get more benefits in certain aspects in
Absolutely.
life. You know, especially for
Appreciate
men.
you for mentioning that.
No problem. But regarding like some men, for
But it's
whatever
dangerous.
reason, I was gonna say it's dangerous too because now
Can't just be accepting everything willy nilly now.
right, that too, and then just also like I feel like a lot of men try to humble you. It's like I don't know if it's like an ego thing. It makes them feel good. Like I can't explain it because I'm not a man. I don't get it. But a lot of men, when they feel like you're out of their caliber or like someone that they wouldn't necessarily be able to bag in like real life, and they may get you off Instagram, whatever, and you vibe. I don't know, especially the men that's been chasing you for years too. Ladies, they always say do not deal with the dude that's been chasing you for years because it's like a humbling thing. Like once he gets you, he wants to humble you. He wants to like, I don't want to say downplay you, but it's just like I don't know if they don't want to feel like a fan or they don't want to, but you're supposed to be a fan of your girl or whoever you're dealing with. But like, it's weird. It's just like some men don't come around for the right reasons. They're coming around to humble you, to use you, whether it's use you for sex, for your looks.
It's almost like buck breaking if people don't understand what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know.
So I mean, it's a blessing because it's like when you look good, you feel good, you know. So in that aspect for yourself, like looking good is a great feeling. And to the world too, because it can get you in a lot of places that, you know, someone who's not as attractive may not be able to.
But it can also get you in trouble.
It can get you in trouble too, you know. It can get you in trouble with, you know, men becoming obsessive or men wanting to control you or, like I said, wanting to humble you, wanting to downplay you because they feel like you have an audience or a fan base of men who already find you attractive. So they want to be the one that's like, oh, I'm not going to make her feel too good about herself because she already has 5, 10, 15, however many other men doing that. So I want to be the a-hole, you know, and they feel like women like that.
I want ladies to know that, you know, men go through that too. I don't think women know that. It might not be as many men that go through that,
right.
you know, but, you know, there's some bad niggas out there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you got bad bitches, you got bad, there's some handsome men out here, right? That really go through that really get humbled or really, you know, feel, or you think you all that too.
I think it's the attractive, nice guys. I think if you're an asshole guy, you're not going to necessarily deal with that as much as if you're a nice guy.
That's what they say, you know, you might as well be an
nice
asshole.
Guy finish last.
If nice guys finish last, and it's true. But at the end of the day,
it has to be a balance, though.
It has to be a balance, and you have to understand that finishing last is still finishing. These guys ain't finishing.
Right.
You know, don't let this asshole think that. Don't let this asshole fool you that he just got women falling from everywhere. Most likely, if he's an asshole, he doesn't. You know, because not. You know, some women like that.
If he's
some
an attractive asshole, he
attractive
does.
asshole. You know what I'm saying, or whatever it be, personality, looks, money. Like, don't be fooled by that. You know what I'm saying? Because really, it's all boiled down to characteristics. Yeah. If men or women. So you could be attractive, right? Attractiveness is everybody's going to see you. Everybody's eyes opening now. The attractiveness got you through the door. Right. But what keeps you in the place?
Right.
Your characteristics. And
personality.
Being an asshole ain't going to keep you around for so long. Yeah. Even if, you know, being an asshole gets you these certain type of women, but they don't usually keep them that long. You know what I'm saying? For men and women, because some women that's, you know, stuck up in assholes too. And I like to say, we all deal with that, men or women, and you got to have that consideration that it applies to the other sex too. Like they go through it too. Maybe not as much as women, because I don't feel men try to be attractive too much. Some people are just attractive. I feel like when you try to be attractive, if you're going for that, when you're a woman and you're feminine and you want to look very nice, like not too many men coming like that, but it is some men that want to look very nice too and want to smell all good and all that. But it comes with a price for men too. You get the crazy fatal attraction type chick, you know what I mean? And I deal with that sometimes. And I ain't saying I'm the most handsome man in the world, but I feel like my characteristics get me that a lot, and I don't like it. You know, I don't like that crazy woman that's going off, that's calling you back to back, that's disrespecting you, hoping that you would do the same in return, I'm just gonna block you and move the fuck on.
Right, leave
you know what I'm
it
saying? You're not about to bring me down to that domestic violence type shit. I'm not with domestic violence. I'm not with disrespecting somebody to make me feel good.
Yeah.
And I'm not with letting nobody disrespect me. So it's just over. And I feel like that's what I deal with, you know what I'm saying, a lot. Because I am the nice guy, because I am down to earth, but I don't like that. So that's the quickest way to get you up out of here, and that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm not going tit for tat with no woman. All right, baby, you got it. You know, take it with you. Don't let it hit you on your ass
Don't
on the way
let the
out.
door
You know
hit you on your ass when you leave.
But you know, I feel like being attractive for men and women is hard for both of us. You know. And that's why a lot of people don't. They say you rarely see two attractive people together because they all going through the same thing. Sometimes, you know, men just don't talk about it. I don't talk about what I go through with women because it sounds a little too chatty patty. But I go through some stuff with women, and I don't expose women.
Recently.
But I just block them. Let them make up whatever they want to believe, what they thought would happen. What happened was you was too disrespectful. I ain't like your mouth, and I didn't want to meet you there. What happened was you had a little too much of an ego and pride from a woman that I don't even have as a man. Now, I know it's some prideful ass men. I'm just not one of them. And it's some prideful ass women that I ain't trying to deal with.
You're not trying to deal with.
Yeah, I don't deal with it, so why would I accept it? And that's how I am about disrespect. I'm zero tolerance, so why would I accept it? I'm not trying to give it to you. And if you feel that I'm doing something that you feel might be disrespectful, address it.
Right.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, exactly.
You know, we almost at the end, but let's wrap it up. Traveling, like you travel a lot. You know, you just went to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you feel about traveling, and what does it do for you? What is some of the experiences you may have?
Well, I think traveling is good just like for life experience. You know, you get to
Absolutely.
experience different cultures. You get to
Absolutely.
see a different way of living. And it's kind of a getaway from the rat race mentally. Like they said, like you should take, if you can afford it, at least every 2 to 3 months.
I just saw that.
You should be going on vacation, which is true. Like the way America is, like, it's ghetto. It's real ghetto. It's a third world country now. Like we are now on like the bottom of list when it comes to like just living, economy, just everything. So it's kind of like getting away from here kind of opens your eyes to like better living, you know, because it's crazy because it used to be the other way around where people were like trying to come into our country and make a better living for themselves, which people still do. But I think now like it's so much more outside the U.S., like so much more just in terms of just environment, food, especially food quality. Like the food quality in America versus a lot of other places is totally different. Like fruits, like you can pick fruits off of trees in different, like it's illegal to do that.
My
here.
man in the Philippines, he in the Philippines living a $340 a month rent.
Yo,
in condos,
when I tell y'all I'm moving to St.
$2
Thomas.
bills.
I'm moving next year. It is the goal. It is the plan. I mean,
I would love to.
I'm from St. Thomas. It's the U.S. Virgin Islands. It was owned by the Danish, but the United States took it over. But I'm moving. Like I'm getting
I would
out
love
of.
to live
I'm
abroad.
going to the islands. That's where my family is. Me and my mom's. We out. And I
feel traveling is definitely broadens your horizon. I feel like, you know, like you said, health reasons, finance reasons,
yeah.
but most of all, just informational, educational. Once you go somewhere, you see there's black people everywhere. There's shades everywhere. Our culture, Africa, is everywhere. Like, so I feel like you have to see that. You have to get about the hood. You got to even get about the suburbs. The suburbs is all the same all across America. If the hood is the same all across America. That's one thing I'm so much of a hood booger. When I travel, I want to see the hood because that's what I'm familiar with. I want to see the hood. Where is the hood that I can relate to, that I can see? And you'll see that it's a difference. And it's a familiarity. Like you have like an unspoken language. You know, it's universal languages everywhere. You know, and it's universal places everywhere. So I feel like once you see that abroad and you have this information, you have this education from all these places, and you have that mentality when you bring it back. you can spread that. You know what I mean? I feel that a lot of people, if they did have the opportunity to travel, it would help them with a lot of things that they're dealing
Mental
with
health
being
especially.
blocked in and being separated, or the hood is separated from everything. But it's other places where it's hoods everywhere that's separated from everything. Then when you go visit it, you'll see why it's separated. And have that understanding, that's information, that's educational, and it'll broaden your mindset. And I feel like it would change a lot of people. You know what I mean? So traveling definitely should be for everybody. Even if you can't afford it, you could take little getaways, in the States. You know what I mean? It's a lot of hidden gems within the States that people don't know about, you know? So I feel like it's something that we all should try to expand to.
Yeah.
All right, Juice,
people
man.
that-
Is there anything else you want to say or you want to get off your chest before we wrap up, before we get up out of here?
No, just look out. I'll be dropping new music pretty soon.
Okay.
Obviously the podcast. We can't wait for that to come out.
Yeah, that's going to be out soon.
Yeah, that's gonna be out soon.
Real soon.
But yeah, like I said, just love on your people. Life is
Absolutely.
short, you know what I'm saying? Embrace your people. Stay away from the bullshit. Stay dangerous. And when I say stay dangerous, means stay on your grind,
Absolutely.
bettering yourself, living your best life. You only get one life, so, live it to the fullest.
All right, man. I just need you to say the slogan. It's double 2 times. This is Blacshēp Podcast. We go anywhere. We discuss anything. Let's go, Juice.
I'm saying the same thing?
You say it's Blacshēp Podcast. We go anywhere. We discuss anything.
Okay, it's Black Sheep. It's your girl Juice on Blacshēp Podcast. We go anywhere and we discuss anything.
It's a wrap, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me make sure I shout out Blackwall. This is the home-based studio. When we not traveling, we not set up outside, we most likely going to be in Blackwall, which is in North Plainfield. This is a family-orientated place. I send everybody here. We got a lot of things going on. We got rental space. We got products. So please, if you ever looking for me or you ever looking for what I do, Blackwall is one of them places. Shout out to the owners. Shout out to the people that work here, because they help me and they provide me with a space and an environment where I could feel comfortable to bring any and everybody through. So if we not outside, we not traveling, because we are a travel podcast. We go anywhere. We discuss anything. We here at Blackwall, man. So thank you. North Plainfield, New Jersey. Shout out to the owners
Shout
and
out to
everybody.
Brunswick. Yeah.
Oh yeah, shout out to Brunswick.
All right, cool. Perfect.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. We said
Thank you,
that.
Juice.
Thank you.